All right, welcome to the Fit to Serve method, the uncommon human that we always talk about every podcast. We talk about the uncommon human. What does that look like? And we've been climbing up the pillars of what it looks like to be the uncommon human. We have faith and we have fitness. And we left off last with weights, and now we're tackling sport.
Welcome to the Uncommon Human Podcast, where we help you perform the common uncommonly well. Your coach for all things physical and spiritual is Derek Del Rosario, who for 25 years has brought transformation to thousands of clients. With God's help, Coach Derek has overcome many adversities on his own journey of faith and fitness, and now he's the owner of Fit to Serve Fitness in Henderson, Nevada. Having discovered tennis at a young age, he excelled at the amateur, intercollegiate, and professional levels. Afterwards, he discovered the sport of CrossFit, and by 2019 had ranked #1 CrossFitter for the state of Nevada in his division. Having achieved all this, Coach Derek now considers himself an ambassador for Christ to help you in your journey to become the uncommon human through faith and fitness. Here with today's podcast is Coach Derek.
Stay down, and so I learned a lot of footwork and anticipation. I have to anticipate your next move.
That's right.
That
Beat
was
him to the point, to the mark, right?
And then angles and leveraging, and so like if I did get beat, how do I catch up and recover?
That's right.
So that my man don't have to help and leave his man open for an easy layup.
Yes. Hey, you CrossFitters, you at Fit to Serve, you hear that? How do you recover? How do you anticipate? All this practice is very similar to what we do here in the gym. It doesn't matter what sport you go to. It's discipline, it's practicing, it's practicing the weaknesses, and it's kind of over exaggerating your practice. So when you come into the game, it becomes super like a showtime, like easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, this is enjoyable. The practice is the hard part, shadowing someone 94 feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you come and shrink that court down, you're like, whoa, this is kindergarten. This is easy. And so I think that's a good point because, a lot of people will practice makes perfect, but perfect practice with intention is the way to do it. And having that structure is important. And so you're in junior high, you're practicing 2 hours,
Right?
2 hours outside. That's 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Now going to high school, freshman year, did you play?
Freshman year, I did play.
Okay.
So that my 8th grade year, we went downstate.
Okay.
We got 4th place in state. We were happy we made it downstate, but we didn't like how it ended. So it left a bad taste in our mouths. And that whole summer we went hard. We pretty much knew our team from 8th grade was going into the same high school and we was going to be freshmen on the same team. We played AAU together. We built chemistry. And we went really hard. We had the summer off from school. So it was basketball every day. We wake up, we hit the weights. Then we play pickup. Then we do like personal development. Like just the court with just one-on-one. But we went really hard, really. So that was 8th grade going to freshman year. We went undefeated too. So my freshman and sophomore year was undefeated.
That's awesome. So we move into high school practice. Do they get intense? More intense? You have a different coach now. You have an 8th grade coach, 6 to 8. Now, do you go into a different coach?
Yeah, I went to a different coach.
Okay. How did that change?
So my freshman year, I started football. I did football the first half. And then so my football coach was my basketball coach, Coach Jay.
Oh, awesome.
He coached, and he really intense. He played Division I, played professional football, so he knew footwork. He know the game. He's smart. He's intelligent. He was wise. So he was able to pour into us, and he had that energy. So it was a different, like my 8th grade coach, he had energy too. He was nice and he taught us like fundamentals, but then it was a step deeper into like really detailed, like the different way to open your hips and to like, it's a point of second, but it differentiates you from the next. Right. It's like just a small little detail that separates you.
That's right. But before to get to that level, you need to learn the basics from 5th grade. Because if he says open those hips and do all that, that could be foreign when the person didn't even know how to guard the person or do the defensive drills that you've been doing for all of that.
So
the time under tension that you put in work.
Definitely the basics.
To get there, right?
Master the basics. and then add to the basics. So
And add to the basics.
yes, the reps though, getting that reps.
Yes. Yes.
Bruce Lee said it, and you said it. It said, "I fear not the man who practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times." So
Yep.
just getting reps.
And I think that's a very important piece, because whatever sport you're in, it's important to get those reps in, and some of the boring work that people don't see. That's what you talk about, differentiates the ordinary to extraordinary, right? Like there's that little piece that other people just put in, getting more reps and more practice, and their heart's in that place where they want to keep going and being better at that sport, at what they're trying to achieve. And so now you're in ninth grade. When did you start to play varsity?
I played varsity my junior year.
Junior, okay.
Yeah, so freshman and sophomore, I played regular, and then, but my sophomore year, I played varsity football.
Football, got it.
Right. So, but I didn't play varsity basketball until junior year, and junior year, so the coach, he was old fashioned. So he started his seniors, like the people who've been there, they started and they got time first. So like we had summer league up in like my junior year going to my senior year. So the seniors coming back, they were starting. But by the fourth game of the actual season, I was the starting point guard.
Awesome.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that was because the game before we was losing. The team wasn't just out of it and put me in, and I had us in control, and we came back and we won. And from that day, I was a starting point guard at my high school.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. And we talked on this earlier. I want to go back to free throws a little bit, right? I want to hit on free throws, because I think in golf, it's putting. In tennis, they're serving the ball. There's these fundamental practices that I believe a lot of people just take for granted. That because it's part of the game, I'll deal with that when it gets there, because I'm cool. I'm good because the rim's so close, the basket's right here, no one's defending me, I'm going to make a basket. But there's something about when the pressure is on, the lights are on, you get fouled and you're behind by 1 or 2, just a tie, and there's no time in the clock. And you go back to, in your head, the practice, the repetition, the shooting the socks, and all those reps. And not that we always make that shot, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you probably played that scenario out in your head thousands of times on the free throw. No time left. I got to make these a tie to go into overtime. Or I make the last one, I win the game, right? Tell me about that, like that practice, because you're practicing in the moment and envisioning, right? Like you're there,
Right.
like this is happening. Even Kobe maybe fouled you or something, right? Like and one, like Kobe walking them down.
People think free throws are easy just because it's a free throw. That's the name. It's free and it's a throw. So people think it's easy, but that gives you the most pressure. It's nobody in front of you. Is depending on if you're home or away. If you're home, it's just silent. Nobody's talking, and it's just you on the island. But if you're away, the crowd, man, said air ball. So you're dealing with those voices. So you got to shut that out. And then you got to get a routine. So what I did, it was 3 dribbles. Every time I went to the line, I lined my right foot up, directly center with the basket. And I did 1, 2, 3, deep breath. Then I did the same thing over and over and over and over. When I was by myself, it's easy to not take my 3 dribbles because I want to get my reps up. I can just catch and shoot. But I really wanted to have the game scenario. And like you said, you act like you down 1 or down 2. So some things that I did is I got to make 10 in a row all net. So if the ball hit the rim, I start over. And that's how I ended my workout. So after a long day of training, weights, study hall, I go to the gym. And I don't get to go home until I make 10 straight all net. And some, depending on days, I'm there for an hour. Like it just takes time. Like you got it's concentration, it's focus. Because you go somewhere else mentally, and then before you get to 8 or 9 days, before you know, Like it's just
that 10th one is so hard off
so
because you
just,
hear all the crowd and everything going, and your arm just that short arm.
So you
right?
Yes.
You push it like there's no rotation on that, right? You ever been there?
Right.
You're like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, you want to go home. So it keeps you to stick to your routine. Believe in your routine.
Believe in your routine.
And sometimes like that's when I'm by myself, but how the coaches like kind of simulate that scenario is you miss the whole team run.
Yep.
So that you the only one on the line, a team on the baseline, and you got 2 free throws, you gotta make both. You miss one or miss two, we got suicide. So you go through the line and you like the team like, come on, let's make it. Let's putting that pressure on you too.
Ooh.
So it's the routine.
That's a routine,
It's
right?
the routine.
Very similar fit to serve athletes, or any of you guys are doing any barbell work out there. Stepping up to the bar, stepping up to the deadlift. You step in with right leg, maybe left leg, right arm, left arm, take a breath, squeeze your back, get ready, and pull the bar off the ground. Whatever you do, in tennis, it was 3 bounces, look up, rock back, and deliver the serve. In putting, 1 practice stroke, step in and fire, right? Sometimes when you stand over and think so much, you get tighter and tighter and tighter, so you have to have something to just responding, and whatever that pre-shot routine is, and to stick to it and keep it consistent, right? Because that's where the nerves, and that's what helps, I believe, in the nerves and keeping yourself to not get out of that zone and be nervous. And the more times you can practice that's the scenario, the more times we can perform the common uncommonly well, because that's what we talked about. The Bruce Lee thing you talked about. It's like practicing that one thing 10,000 times. Well, not many people want to hang out there. It seems like, because everyone wants to dunk. Everyone wants to put the jump shoes on so you can touch the rim and first dunk it with a tennis ball, then the softball, then the volleyball, then the basketball, right? And then off on 2 feet. And so I think that for our youth who are looking or studying, like, what would you say if you went back into your youth days? How would you, what would you spend more time on?
The perspective that I've gained over time is to outwork thousands. You gotta outwork thousands in front of nobody. Like, it has to just be you, and you have to outwork everyone else before you can like get on the court and like put that performance on in front of thousands. So going back, I would tell myself to stay more. I was focused. I was like, I did what I needed to do. I did the requirements. So I would say to go above and beyond. That the requirement is the bare minimum. Like, if your coach tell you do 8 reps, practice the 1 more, to do 9 or do 10, and then you really program your mind to do 1 more rep. That, because sometimes you might go to overtime or double OT or triple overtime, or maybe you got a back-to-back, and you want to just be prepared.
Yes.
So proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yes.
And just to plan and prepare and to stay focused. Focus.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, that's key. I think the focus piece and practicing above beyond the requirements, because I think nowadays, and even back my dinosaur years, I mean, it was, you see the players that just do the requirements, that are looking at it like, oh man, I'm just gonna do for the rest of the people what they're doing, what the coaches tell me to do. But how do you run those extra wind sprints? How do you run home? How do you all these things that I remember were vivid, training as a youth and a kid. But tell me a little bit about, because in sport, now let's talk to the weekend warrior, the person who's out of basketball for many years, and they're 40, they're 30, they played college, they played high school, now they want to go play a pickup game. They want to go play. Everyone want to play a league, right? We all want to play league. I used to play in high school. Now we look at the pyramid and we take a look at, nutrition, mobility, endurance, gymnastic, weights. Like, they can't just hop in here in sport and weights. They're 50 pounds overweight. Like, how would you train that person and tell them like the importance of, sports at the top of the pyramid here, but why is it important to get all these things in line first?
Me personally, I played D1. And then basketball stopped and COVID came and I didn't work out for months before I actually got back to it. I was drinking, I was eating bad, I was like just not sticking to the discipline that I had when I would had somebody holding me accountable.
Yes.
So I fell out of it for a while, and to get back into it, I played flag football. I did like men's leagues, and I really focused on my diet. So that's why I started. Like I said, November 1st, come up 2 years of not eating meat. So that was something that me personally I cut out just to like clean myself out, to cleanse myself, to think more clear. And that's where I started, was the nutrition. I started with that. And I didn't, when I was in basketball, I was doing weights 7 a.m. We was lifting heavy. I was focused on getting big, taking my protein, and dealt with a few injuries. So then I really took a step back from the weights and I focused on body weight. So I did push-ups every day. I stretched and I do some cardio every now and then, every here and but I really just focused on recovery and feeling the best I've ever felt mentally, physically, emotionally. Just in general, just feel unleash my infinite potential. That's what my goal was. Every day I wake up is to be the best version of myself.
Amen. Yes. That's awesome. That's awesome. So the person who's coming out and wanting to play flag football or play a men's league, would you tell them get their nutrition? Like you said, nutrition was a big thing. Would that be an important piece?
Yes, I would say definitely drink a lot of water. I was just like, if you don't know where to start, hydrate yourself. That'll fix a lot of problems. Is water before, after, and during. Yes, you like if you want to just get back out there, drink a lot of water.
Yes,
and then everything.
That's still hard for some people.
Water. Yes, it's easy.
You think you live in the desert and it's easy to drink water, but you find out so many people are like, can I flavor this up? Is there any other tasting water? I just get sick of water. But why importance of water?
To hydrate. Hydrate. I dealt with injuries. So I had 2 knee surgeries and I had broke my elbow, broke my hands. My body's been through wear and tear. So I really treat my body as a temple and I really take good care of it. So that water is water.
It's important. It's super important. I mean, living in this desert, man, we are dehydrated. And I think the wintertime is very hard because it gets cold, but you need water just as much. But that's a great start. And then you said, you head into some body weight, which is gymnastics. You're bettering your endurance by maybe some runs. And then you got into some weights and you're trying to get stronger, but you're trying to get some body weight. You talked about body weight stronger first, and that's important. A lot of people want to hit the weights and weights and weights when they've got let's back it up. How can you be mobile enough to do like an air squat or a push-up or a pull-up? But some people want to venture off into the weights and they can't pull their chin over their bar one time, let alone trying to
it looks good. It's like you got to enjoy the journey. It's the journey where champions are made. It's the journey when you embrace and embody that journey. You think different. Your own perspective is different. Some people just want the results. Like, okay, I want to squat 400 pounds. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna just work it's the journey to work it up into 400. Because you can squat 400 pounds for 3 days or maybe a week. But how can you maintain that and be consistent with that over time? So and some people want to just skip. They want to skip the process. It don't work like that.
You can't.
It just don't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have a saying here is the journey is much sweeter than the arrival. Because the arrival, sometimes when we think we arrive, it's just like a deceiving thing in our head. Like we arrive, but just enjoy the journey, like you said. I mean, that's a very important piece, and having these wins along the journey, because hey, we're gonna end up doing this forever anyways, like fitness in some sort. If that's not, you don't have to play basketball every single day, but now you're here, a member of Fit to Serve, and how's your journey looking now? What does that entail now in your fitness season? What are you trying to do now?
Like I said, just to be the best version of myself. So I know it's a marathon and it don't happen overnight. So I'm not just gonna have the dream body that I want, like big, muscles, abs.
Yes.
So it takes time, and you wanna. I learned that you want to have a strong foundation.
Mm.
You want to build on a strong foundation because your foundation not strong. One injury, it crumbles. It is down, and you back to square one.
Strong foundation. You
The
hear that, guys?
foundation.
The foundation's everything.
Foundation.
It'll blow away if it's built on sand. It's
Yes.
got to be built on the rock,
Exactly.
right? And we talk spiritually in Jesus, right? It's got to be built on the rock. Your faith foundation, your physical foundation. And if you don't have that foundation and what you've been building all that time, then like you said, one low neck injury can
Done.
done. You're done. And you have a new season now. You have a little one.
Right.
Wow. Talk a little bit about that.
Joy.
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 You see that smile what he had right there?
Joy.
All of a sudden a big old joy came across him.
Yes.
Amen.
Love.
It
was an adjustment.
Uh-huh.
It was something I prayed on, and
Yeah.
I wanted for a long time. I knew I wanted I grew up in a big family, so I
Yes.
knew I wanted to grow a family.
Yes.
I wanted to give, and I wanted to pour, and the knowledge and the wisdom and the talents, athleticism. I wanted to be able to pour into a legacy and start a legacy, build a legacy. So that was a prayer answer for God.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And now you get to pour in and all the things that you've gone through and good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, that God uses it. And he allows us to have those relationships in our own family, and you get to teach and listen, and all kinds of new journey pieces of being a father are coming your way, right? A whole nother workout regimen, right? As you get to learn about how to stay up and sleep and not sleep, and having your wife, and how to share responsibilities and be good godly father. And so now this is awesome, hearing the heart of sport behind this. I wanted to jump on with you because it's important for our audience to understand sport, not just, hey, we're going to go play a game with someone, but it takes a lot of years of discipline, a lot of years where people have practiced their craft. You don't just get there, right? It's how many years until you played your last game, from start at what age till the time you played your last probably competitive piece?
I would say 18 years, like 18
18
years
years.
consistently, like
18
going
years.
hard, and 18 years of basketball, and I played 12 years of football,
Okay.
and I would say 8 years of baseball. So I stopped baseball my sophomore year, then I continued football, and then basketball was something that just stuck with me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lifetime thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. 18 years, guys. I mean, we can't sometimes spend more than 18 months. We think that's a long time. It may seem a long time on paper, but it flies like that when you're enjoying the process and the journey, like you said. It allows you to be better in that area and not getting attached really to the outcome, just enjoying and the love of it, right? I mean, you just loved it for many years and not even thinking about, hey, I just want to be out here playing with the boys on the pickup games and 3-on-3 and 5-on-5 and half court and all these games you can play within the game, right? Like, make it fun. Make it fun. Your sport can be hiking. Your sport, it could be biking. It could be swimming. It could be throwing darts. It could be, I mean, have a game within the game. I love the game in the game. Like you probably had so many incidents that you play games in the game, right? Like you play basketball, but then you say, you know what? I'm going to make sure this guy doesn't get a basket. I'm going to tee him up so hard. I'm going to be a shadow on him. Hey, you ever play that game?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm going to tie him down, Gaylord Payton, glove style, right?
Yeah, it's a team sport, but then it's
sport.
a matchup within the matchups.
That's right. And that's any sport, guys. So any sport, like when you play a game in a game, and then what happens is you become excellent at that craft. You get better because you push beyond even what the coaches say to do, whatever you're called to do. You push yourself above and beyond, and then you come down to what's called to that action for that day, and you raise your level so much more. So when they say go do the defensive drills, you're like, I've been doing that all summer.
Exactly.
I've been guarding that guy the fastest on the park, and let's go do it. And all the other guys are like, I don't want to do those drills, but you've been practicing.
Fired up for it.
You're fired up for it.
Bringing that energy.
Cool, man.
Sir.
Thank you for jumping on.
Nice doing it.
Shawn is here to stay. Oh, real quick. I'm going to dive in real quick. The entrepreneur side.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about your branding. Yeah.
So Jet Life, this is actually
Jet Life. Here he is.
this is one of our summer collection shirts. Jet
Yep.
Life. I got shorts on too. You can't see that.
Cool.
But it stands for positivity, love, and good vibes. And it was it's fashion. So I always had an eye for fashion. I like to dress. I like to wear designer, and I have a business partner who we both went to middle school and
You
high
like
school.
orange too? You like orange?
Do I like orange? I'm
All right.
not
Okay. All these orange walls. You're about to, man. I don't know about this. You got orange. You're just running with orange. All right.
I like Chicago Bears, so they orange.
Okay.
So,
Good. They got the orange.
yeah.
Yeah. You're good.
But yeah, so fashion is just something where we relate. So
Yes.
it's something that brings us together. We relate through fashion. We design it. It's to build generational wealth.
Okay.
We were selling we had a discount on like designer, so we was getting it and we were selling it. So we built up an audience and we were like, we're selling all these other brands. Let's start our own.
Okay.
And we did that going on 2 years, and it's been growing and expanding, talking to investors who are willing to invest, and just to have people who are not in our organization believe in the organization. It gives us a little more motivation and inspiration to keep going. And like, this is just the beginning. Like, we could really do something really big with it.
Wow.
And it opened our eyes. And
Wow. Do you have a website?
we do.
What is it? What is it?
Jet Life Co. So JETLYFE
Okay.
CO.com.
.com. Awesome. Well, it was awesome having you on here. We had a long day today, right? We went through a physical workout, spiritual workout. We jumped into a mentoring program. And here we are. We said that we're going to do this podcast, and I put it off a little bit of time, but here we are. We're here.
Perfect time.
Perfect. As always, perfect time. And we're here in the gym at Fit to Serve. And so, Shawn, thank you for coming on. I'm sure we'll do more podcasts together. It's just a start, like you're saying, right? It's just a start of what God has been doing in all of our lives. So I want to continue to pray for your next steps and what God has for you.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Cool.
Thank you for having me on too.
Yes. Well, there you have it, guys. Uncommon Human. We're up the ladder. Fitness was the last piece, but we're going to still come back to you, and we'll start it all over again. 12 pillars that we have on being the uncommon human. Perform the common uncommonly well. God bless.
Let's go.
Woo!
If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. And visit our exclusive Facebook community where Derek offers training videos and other valuable content to help you grow through faith and fitness. And don't miss out on a free 12-week nutrition guide. Just go to smiletoday.fitness. That's smiletoday.fitness.